Hello, and assalamualaikum, and welcome to the brand new show of FaltuCast. What's your story? Today we have a special guest from Guatemala. Her name is Darlen. She is living in States, and today we are going to know her story, her journey. How are you today, Darlen?
Hi, I'm doing pretty good as of right now. It's a work day. It's raining outside just a little bit. I'm definitely trying to make the most of the day.
Also, thank you for taking time. Thank you for taking some time out for us. Uh, so today we're going to ask about your story. So you were born in Guatemala. You are living in the States. You are also a photographer. So just tell us about your life.
Yes. Okay, well there's a lot. I don't know if I'll be able to fit everything quite into this one 25-minute meeting, but I will definitely do my best. I would say I definitely have a very interesting story, just like many other people who have come from different countries into the United States. I think that there is always a lot to say about, what our parents had to do to bring us here from different parts of the world, hoping to find something that would help us transition to a better life, right? So I came here when I was about 3 years old. I actually still vaguely remember getting on a plane, to be honest. It's my oldest memory, I would say, that I have. It's very vague, but I just remember that my life was going to change forever at that moment. Now, when I came here, I was really young, but of course, my first language was Spanish. I remember just growing up with my mom, her having to find work here and there, and she started off working at a church. And so the one thing that stood out to me when I first came here, I would say, was definitely realizing how I definitely was not from here. And when I say that, it's not obviously because, you have this innocent mind, you don't know much, right? I just remember walking into a classroom where I'm sitting there and I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of kids and I'm looking everywhere and I realize that everybody has lighter skin, blue eyes, green eyes. And then I'm looking at myself and then I'm asking myself, why do I not look like them? I have black hair, brown skin, dark eyes. It definitely was one of the many moments that I lived and transitioned through my life where I realized that, I was going to have to figure out who I was as a person. And so, yes, I grew up with my mom. She was a single mom, took care of me and my sister. We definitely went through a lot of things growing up. Uh, Unfortunately, not to speak ill of the dead, but my father, he was someone that had an influence in my life, and unfortunately, not in the sense that I would, take pride in, but he was definitely a very abusive person, physically and mentally, and I think that affected my upbringing. And of course, going through school, I dealt with a lot of different things. Again, being Hispanic, being an immigrant has definitely put me in a place where I was exposed to a lot of different things that I didn't quite understand growing up, but it just unraveled and developed throughout the years. And, it's one of those things that besides being your own person, besides being a kid, it's like the only thing that you can do in life is sort of just try to take everything in, and as we get older we try to start making sense of it, what's going on in life, and then also who we are as a person. And as I got older, like I said, I dealt with a lot of different things. There was definitely discrimination, there was definitely bullying, there was definitely so many things that I personally dealt with because of who I am. I can't really put too many words into that because you always ask yourself, why me? But I would say that it definitely taught me to be um, sympathetic, empathetic towards people. I think it made me understand that everyone deals through different types of things in life, pain, anger, etc. So many stuff. And I would say because of that, throughout my life, I've been placed in a certain situation or in certain jobs even that have helped me sort of develop who I am as a person. And one of the things I think that I definitely took on when I was young and growing up was photography. I think that one thing that helps so many people is just exploring that any artistic side of you. So photography definitely did that for me. Singing, I was in choir for so long. I think that was one of the many things that helped me sort of find my voice and not feel like I needed to shut out from the world, and sort of use that as a tool to sort of, step away and step out of the things that were going on in the world and step out of what my life and my reality was. And now, as of right now, like as I'm sitting in this building, one of the other things that has helped me is working with clients, with people who have been through different things. As of right now, it's, personal injury insurance claims where, if the insurance company, a bigger company, is going after them and or not, responding and not helping, our law firm basically tries to take care of our clients, where we're trying to help them, trying to give them a voice. And again, that's also helped me as well, realizing that, we're not alone in problems. We all have problems that we deal with. And it does take, courage from within to, seek help and then also give help. And I think that that's something that's extremely important to me, where I feel like the things that I've lived and the stuff that, I've done to sort of get me out of my problems or help me forget the problems, is I think that in itself is giving me the position where I'm at now, where I want to voice out more things. I want to share more things, visually through my pictures, speak up out loud through my voice, and then also know that there's always a higher purpose for each one of us, and we live in a time right now where we have social media, and we can definitely use that to our advantage to not just help the people that are in front of us, but to help people around the world. And I think my story in itself obviously shares a little bit of that. And then also, I think now that I'm trying to put myself out there as well, I'm finding people wanting to do the same thing, and I think it's so important, because we need to find a way, as of right now in this time in life, to unite in a more humanitarian way. There's a lot going on in the world, and a lot of things that we can't really make sense of it, no matter what they tell you on TV, on propaganda, and social media, et cetera, et cetera. But the one thing that's extremely important is who we are as people, and how, as long as we try to do something to serve others and continue to sort of voice that out, I would say it will make all the difference as to how we can transition through new generations and really problem solve what's going on in the world right now. And well, as of right now where I'm at, like I said, I'm going through different ventures myself, trying to figure out what my next step is. I'm a mother of a 17-year-old who he himself has taught me a lot. I would say that sometimes he's even the teacher and I'm the student. I would say that, being a young mother has definitely shown me a lot as well. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? A little bit about my mom. She's definitely one of my biggest influences as of right now. Throughout the years trying to raise my son, she's been helping me, and through a certain circumstance that happened one time, she ended up realizing that she could do something herself as a, because of what she's gone through. She realized that she can also voice herself out. And one of the things that she ended up doing was joining a nonprofit group. And that nonprofit group has sort of taken her through different things in her life, where she's realized that, her position in this country as a labor worker, as a caregiver, and as an immigrant, she has a lot to share with the world about how that job is so important and how we contribute to this country. We have a lot of great, successful people here in this country that do all types of tasks. Like I said, we all serve a purpose. But I would say with what she's done, and from what I understand, from what I've done as a job as well, is making me realize that everyone's role is important. There is equality in it, and we need to be able to make sure that everyone has fair treatment. We're all people, but also fair compensation as well. And or in realizing that, it's not just about asking for raises or asking for, some sort of a clap for what we do, but it's more of a, we need to start acknowledging how the world works, and it really comes from the effort of everyone. We all have and put this effort into how this world runs, how this country runs. And if we really analyze that, it literally has nothing to do with the money. Of course, it's a trade that we require. It's a tool. But I feel like if we start changing our mentality with that, the world would be a better place.
Okay, I will take you back. Okay, since you were a little girl when you were schooling and you saw something different, you felt like an alien there. So what was it? Is it bullying, or is it like a systematic racial thing?
It was a little of everything. One of the things that I still remember, though, being really young, was that, realizing that you stand out, that had nothing to do with anybody. That was just my perspective. I have eyes, and you see and you observe, and the things that we observe in life, that you can't change that. That's just what we see. But the things that I think were black and white is definitely the way people would treat me. And that came from, I still remember from, I mean, I don't want to put anybody down, because I respect all these positions that I've come across, but it came from teachers, it came from cops, it came from classmates, it came from everybody. It wasn't just one particular person. I definitely don't hold anything against those people in particular, or any group types. But it made me realize that, when people talk about ignorance, it doesn't have to mean someone who is not intelligent. It just means that they just don't understand certain things that, the person who has to deal with it has to understand, because you see the unfairness of the situation, or you see like the fact that it not only does it not make sense, but you see how cruel it is. You see how there's no valid reason for why people behave the way they do, or why they say what they say.
Okay, so another question. You started doing photography. What makes you pick up that hobby?
So I think from a really young age, I definitely took art as one of the things, like I said, to sort of voice myself out. Photography in itself, though, I think is extremely special, because it's like a moment in time that you get to keep forever. I remember my mom telling me, she didn't really have pictures of me when I was a baby, and I always wanted that. And I said, I want to know where I came from. I want to know who I am. And, a lot of times I think that, that stuff is extremely important, because it helps you develop to who you are as a person as you become an adult. And so I started using photography as, a hobby, where I would document my son growing up. And I think there's some of the most special moments I've ever had, and I think photography is so special because it captures what you want. And it's a perspective. It's the perspective that you have in life, or how you see the world, how you perceive the world. And it's a great way to document some of the greatest things that have happened in history. And, we're not just talking things that have happened, overall for our country. Sometimes it's what it means to you, a special moment for yourself. And you have it there for as long as you want it.
Did someone inspire you, like in terms of photography or the treatment of photos you take?
Actually, no. I just always felt like everyone has a vision. Everyone has their own perspective. And so I wanted to, I still am working and hoping to work on a portfolio, but I would say that I wanted to share how I see the world, how I perceive the world. So, and that just means keep shooting, keep sharing, keep feeling, keep, living, keep seeing, keep just taking it all in and just really seeing what the world is made out of.
Okay. So what's your future plan? Also, before that, so what's your nationality status? Like, are you do you have nationality from Guatemala or from the States?
So right now, technically I'm a Guatemalan citizen. I'm still an immigrant here in the US. I have DACA, so I'm one of the dreamers. And I just have a work permit. So until something changes and something arises, that's going to be my legal status here in this country.
Can you explain what is DACA?
So DACA basically was set in place for a group of people who came during a certain time, and I want to say in the 90s. But basically, what that meant was that if a child came here at a certain age, obviously not by their own will, but by their parents, and there was records of them going to school from, let's say, kindergarten all the way through high school, is that basically those records showed the country that we've been here, we've been contributing, we've done everything the way everyone else has done, and the only thing that we ask now is that we have the ability to work and file our taxes, so that way we can contribute a little bit more legally. And so basically, again, the dreamers is it was definitely like a younger crowd who, we're sort of in the cuspice of like trying to finish high school, to go to college or do some type of career. And so luckily I was able to apply, and I've had my permit, I believe, for almost 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. But it's helped me a lot. Like I said, that's why I am where I'm at right now. And I mean, I'm hoping for something else
So
at some point.
since you had a kid in States, so is he an American citizen or does he have also a Guatemala citizenship?
Who? I'm sorry?
Your son.
My son. So he's a citizen here of this country, but I'm actually hoping to get him a dual citizenship.
Oh,
I
okay.
would like for him to be a citizen of Guatemala as well.
So what's your future plan? How do you look yourself in 5 years?
Well, I'm still young, so I would like to accomplish a lot of different things. One of the biggest things I think that is extremely important to me is family. So definitely upholding a good, strong family. And, if that means more kids in the future, I would be absolutely grateful and thankful for that. I see myself definitely, hopefully, accomplishing a little bit more when it comes to like doing a business for women. So I want to find a way to tie a nonprofit group and a business at some point in my life where I can help other women who have been maybe someone in my position, definitely help a lot of labor workers, women who do housekeeping, babysitting, stuff like that. I want to sort of build a platform for them where they can come to me, or they can come to what I want to build in order to help them for any resources besides work, but also make sure that they're treated fairly and paid fairly. I see myself making a portfolio that sort of describes my life, what it was like and what it's like. And yeah, I would definitely like to do something that sort of is left behind for my son and my future kids to be proud of. It's just all a matter of the right time, I guess.
Okay, since you told us that you used to sing when you were young,
Yes.
so what's your favorite song, first of all?
So I think I've mentioned before, I don't have a favorite song, but as of today, I was on Facebook and I came across a really funny video. And it was a bear jumping on a motorcycle with a person, and they were taking off and the bear was waving goodbye. I know, it was really random. But then it made me think of this song, and it's called Bare Necessities. And as of right now, that is the song that's playing in my head.
Can you play? Can you sing for us? Like,
Okay, give me a second. I have to prepare myself for this. Okay. I've actually had to sing in front of a big crowd, of course, during my school years. And I remember one year I had to sing Para Bailar La Bamba in front of all my classmates by myself. Like I'm standing in the courtyard and my teacher's looking at me and he's like, all right, everyone's here. Go ahead. And I'm like, are you telling me I have to sing by myself? He's like, yep. And so, yeah. Okay. I actually have to play it in the background so I can get,
Sure. I hope I won't get a copyright strike.
Music has definitely played a big role in my life. I would say it's put me in a happy place. I know. You can cut that part out because it's a big part.
No, it's going uncut. People should see how much preparation you're gonna take.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother's Nature recipes that bring you bare necessities of life. And that's all I'm going to give you.
Well, I want to say good luck to you for your future plans and whatever you have in store. I hope you get your nationality soon. And yeah, any words you want to say for our viewers?
Man, there's so much to say. I can't wait to see what else you do with this, honestly, first of all. And I want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity because it's putting me in the place where I want to be, where I am, again, finding my own voice and sharing that with the world. But if I could give a tip to you and the rest of the world is just, as much as we're going through a whole bunch of struggles right now in this world, it's you have to find your happy place, and that happy place is the thing that gets you through whatever's happening in the world. Yeah.
Thank you for coming to our show. I hope people will like it. And those who haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I will put your Instagram link of your photography. People can check your portfolio and all. So yeah, take care everyone. Goodbye. Bye bye.